I made these honey rolls, buns, and it would have been more like Nara if I had my own honey hives. It's coming, okay? Now I want to talk about, Nara and her impact on culture, but also Noah, Nephilim, and Nigrescence. This turned out so well. I think Nara would approve. So Nara is receiving a lot of criticism because not so much the trad wife thing, but she's a Mormon. And that is rubbing people the wrong way. Now, it ties in with a lot that I've been studying. And I have been seeking to understand some things about As the Days of Noah. I've gone back to read the Book of Enoch and some other apocryphal books. So I wanted to find out, what did Noah's son Ham do to Noah to receive a curse? So let's get into that a little bit because it ties in with this Nara Smith cultural phenomenon. I must admit that getting into reading apocryphal books, it does require some spiritual maturity as well as really good discernment. Now, I have gone down some rabbit holes. You may have read the book of Adam and Eve that they say the CIA had, found or had been keeping safely. And I read it. Also, I came across a book that is more of a sacred text, and there was a book of Noah. Let me know if you've read the book of Noah. In this book of Noah, this is how Noah is described at birth. The body of the babe was white as snow and red as a blooming rose, and the hair of his head and his long locks were white as wool, and his eyes like the rays of the sun. Now we know about the three sons of Noah that were on the ark, which are Shem, Ham, and Japheth. It's the line of Ham that we have the issues where you have Canaan who received the curse for what Ham did. Now, what did Ham do? Now, the story goes that Noah became drunk off of the vineyard that he had planted, and his son Ham looked upon his nakedness. Now, he told his brothers, and the brothers had a reverence for the father where they didn't even want to look upon his nakedness, but they backed into the room to cover their father's nakedness. Now, Ham, when Noah woke up to realize what Ham had done, he pronounced a curse over him, but the curse fell to his youngest son. Now, there are schools of thought out there that Ham did something sexual to the father. And other schools of thought are that Ham did something sexual with his own mother. Now, we know in modern times that the corruption that they say as the days of Noah, we're seeing even today. Here's a modern example of a woman named Noah. She is the sister of Miley Cyrus, and her mother is married to her ex-boyfriend. So there's an example of poor boundaries in a family. Now, I do not subscribe to Ham having violated the boundaries of his mother or father. I am looking more into what it is, but I do believe it has to do with the garments that he stole. Very powerful garments that came out of the Garden of Eden with Adam and Eve. So he would have given those garments to his son Cush, who then gave them to Nimrod. So that is what I believe happened. Now I want to go back to this book of Noah, in which they say that Ham was punished with dark skin. And that's how we go back to the Mormon belief system, in which they taught that black people were cursed with black skin because they're from the tribe of Ham. So did I say the garment would have gone from Ham to Cush, and then Cush to Nimrod? So Nimrod becomes interesting in this whole thing because he was a mighty man, a mighty hunter. And did he get powers in terms of scientific secrets, in terms of DNA manipulation? Because it is also understood that he became a Geborim, a mighty, like a Nephilim. What did he do to become like the Nephilim? So I am going to be going into some research, because then it goes back to, again, a racial thing. That made me look into this book of Noah. When was it written? Oh, of course, the 1800s. And I went back to see who wrote it. His name is Louis Ginsburg, and I went to his early life. He was born in Lithuania of a Jewish family, and he received a traditional Jewish education and studied later in German universities. A lot of us are beginning to put the puzzle pieces together with what happened in the 1800s, when we had a great reset, and social constructs and engineering such as race was created around this time, because we also have Darwin. And this whole issue of black skin being cursed, we see how this has taken hold of culture and society all around the world. And when I think back to the Nara issue, where people are angry because she's part of the Mormon church, and then the racism. Now, Nara is biracial, and she's married to a white man. And I want to talk more about this issue of forcing people to take on an identity, a black identity. And where is all of this stemming from? Because we are seeing that, okay, let me just say this. Having black skin, when you look around the world, you have people from India that have black skin. You have people that are in Indonesia with black skin. Aboriginal Australians with black skin. So everybody is from the tribe of Ham. It just doesn't make sense, you know? And what about a woman who's light skinned? How do you account for this? I have people in my own family that, you know, we're a mixture. So where do we draw the line with these ridiculous narratives that have been created? But it helps us with the root cause analysis. And I want to look more into it, because I'm seeing where the 1800s just continues to be the time period that all of these corruptions began for our modern world.